It is time for episode 4 of History Unmasked. We're going to talk some shit about some people that some people may think are heroes. Like the Christopher Columbus thing, dude. Stop praising this guy. I mean, come on. So anyways, episode 4, the war that changed the map. You know, we talked earlier about in 97 when the UK, Hong Kong went back to China from the UK, right? After World War I, the map changed a lot too, So gotta fill you in on something. We're talking about J.P. Morgan, but J.P. Morgan died in March of 1913. So he passed away in Rome. The newspaper headline read, "Morgan dead, country might as well shut down." But here's the thing.
Damn.
He didn't take his power with him, dude. He built a fucking machine.
Oh, absolutely.
So
he was the Michael Jackson of the day.
There you go. Yes. I can't go to work. J.P. Morgan died. Oh my God. It was a machine, dude. It was like he was a brand.
Right.
At the end of the day.
Absolutely.
His son just stepped in. J.P. Morgan Jr., aka Jack, just kind of stepped in and take over. So when we say J.P. Morgan, we're talking about the enterprise, not just. So he set up all these loans and these things, during the war that he wasn't even around to really see the benefit of, but it set his family up, which then set up these banks that still fucking run the world to this day. Ain't that some shit? Now it's all legal though. It's okay. Yeah. He built a machine, dude, that, finances nations, shaped wars, and basically prints influence. He owned fucking the newspapers, the banks, everything. So Jack, they call him, has got the key to the castle. All in 1 year, the world is burning, and it's going to need a banker, and he's the guy that steps in. Okay, so it's 1917, 1918. The war's over. Europe is all fucked up, dude. It's drowning in mud, misery. Religion, though, says this is all holy.
Of course,
it's holy. Reality says it's fucking hell, but
right.
The U.S. finally jumps in. I'm sorry, the war isn't over yet. It's still going on. So retract that. By 1917, Britain and France owe $2 billion, dude.
In 1917,
bro.
Damn.
$2 billion. What's that, like fucking $100 billion now?
Something.
Who do they owe it to? The House of Morgan, Adrian. JP's dead, but he owes it to the business. If the Allies lose, that empire's done. If they win, Morgan Empire becomes essentially immortal.
Right.
I mean, it's 2025, dude. They're still probably one
collecting
of the biggest banks in the fucking world, right? President Wilson says the world must be safe for democracy. Basically, we can't let J.P. Morgan take a loss because now they're getting involved. I mean, they can't let their biggest. I mean, his money is what bailed the U.S. economy out at this time. So it's kind of like he put them in a position where they owe him. Whether they want to get in this war or not, they kind of have to.
Right.
Which probably still happens to this day, right?
So where you're going with this is that J.P. Morgan bailed out some other countries or a other country.
Yeah.
And
he funded the Allies.
He funded the Allies. Now, we need to make sure that the Allies don't lose.
Correct.
Because if they lose, I lose.
Yes.
So now he's going to force the United States to get into this war, or he's going to bribe them to get into this war so to make sure that his investment is actually an investment instead of a loss.
Yeah.
Ain't that some shit?
Ain't that some shit? Because the U.S. wouldn't have had the fucking economy they had if it wasn't for his old man.
Right.
So it's a favor for a favor, right? I bailed y'all out when the fucking company or the country was in a recession and whatever the fuck. The economy was fucked. I gave y'all money. I bailed y'all out. Now I got all this hinging on this war. Look at all the profit I bring in. Now, because at the time, dude, what would I say? Fucking $2 billion?
Right.
J.P. Morgan getting that money, that's a U.S. bank.
Right.
Now the U.S. has $2 billion essentially. Now he can loan that out to people here. You got more money.
Right.
You can build businesses. Like it's great for the economy.
But how did he actually get the United States into this shit?
Because they obviously knew that he had this money out there.
Right.
And he's a big, big, big American bank. So I think it was more indirect. Like, we see what's going on. If JP loses, he's fucked and we're fucked.
Okay.
Because our economy is almost contingent upon it. There wasn't like 100 banks like there are now. It was like JP Morgan and two dickheads down the road trying to loan fucking $2. So it then becomes President Wilson saying the world must be safe for democracy. So we have to now make this safe for democracy. You know, a lot of people translate that as we don't want the JP Morgan to lose. And at this point, war's been going on for years, dude. The U.S. troops are fresh, though. Right. It's like y'all been fighting over there. It's like a tag team match.
Right.
You know, you've been in the whole match, Adrian. You're taking every fucking lump and I'm just sitting back waiting.
Right.
Then you tag me in. Well, I'm fresh, but he's all beat up. And I come in and fucking clean up, dude.
Right.
You know? That's how they do it. That's how the U.S. did it. So, U.S. get involved,
and of course he loans money to the U.S. to get involved.
Oh, I'm sure, dude. Yeah, absolutely. And then religion, dude, they're staying busy though. Let me clear my throat here, guys. The fucking weather, Adrian. When you baptize a war, Adrian, the killing feels righteous, right? Like,
that's it.
In God's name, fucking, as we're shooting everybody.
That's it.
The war then ends, and what happens at this point is going to shape really the conflicts around the world up until this point. Because not only did the Allies borrow money from JP Morgan and need the U.S. to come save them, they also made a lot of promises to other groups. They promised land. They promised land in the Middle East. They promised two groups, one land, the Balfour Declaration. So a lot of what happened here led to the ongoing fucking conflicts in the Middle East that we still deal with to this day. It's the fucking UK, dude. Hey, we're going to promise this Gaza Strip, this area, to people. That party don't know I promised it to them too. Now we win. Now, what's that saying? You wrote a check with your mouth that your ass can't cash or some fucking thing like that.
Right.
Which is pretty much what happened. So wars, loans, victory, repayment, profit, fucking House of Morgan is rising, you know, even bigger than they did under the old man.
Sure.
Like, dude, he must be fucking partying in his grave. Holy shit. But it did cause, I guess, manufactured misery in the Middle East. So the Ottoman, that whole regime's over. Britain and France, they carve up the region. And then the borders are kind of drawn for oil, not for people. They're all fighting over the fucking oil over there.
Of course.
You
That's
know?
Same reason they rezone districts.
Right.
You know, for when it comes for voting. You know? That's why they bring people into different areas and so they can vote. It's all the same shit.
Oh, yeah, movement. Yeah, we're not getting enough votes in that area. Let's move some people that would actually vote for me in that area. So the war, it was pitched as the war to end all wars, but it really didn't end shit.
Right.
It just ended this particular one, which then caused so many other fucking conflicts. So the Balfour Declaration. You ever heard of this?
No.
Me neither. We're learning at it. We're learning it together, Adrian.
Hey,
it's like we're in school together again, you know? November 2nd, 1917, the British Foreign Secretary Arthur James Balfour sent a letter to Walter Rothschild, leader of the British Jewish community, declaring that the British government views with their favor the establishment in Palestine as a national home for the Jewish people. So remember the whole Rothschilds?
Yep.
We got this anti-Semitic messaging going around. We're trying to fucking push them out, right? So now they say, well, dude, Palestine's perfect place for you guys, right? The text also added a provision, it being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of the existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine. Because believe it or not, Palestine's occupied. It's not just
correct.
But hey, you can fucking live there, but you can't fuck with them. Little nuance here. The phrase national home rather than state, and it clearly didn't define the boundaries or the full political, sovereignty, right? Why did it happen? As part of the war effort in World War I, Britain wanted to basically get some support from the Jews worldwide, especially in the US and Russia, strengthen its position in the Middle East. They're securing the Suez Canal in Egypt. Basically all these post-Ottoman territories. The Ottoman Empire ruled all this area. They're now out, so now we're going to pick up the pieces, right? Some Jewish leaders strongly pushed for a British endorsement of a Jewish homeland. So Jewish people were looking for a homeland, and they're like, dude, you can just fucking have this spot. And that is what has caused issues, again, that we still see to this day. Like, this declaration also conflicted with other British promises, because they had promised this land to other people too. They promised it to the Arabs. So we got the Jewish people and the Arabs are both being promised the same fucking land by the UK. And the conflict, you know, I love they call it a conflict. It's a lot more than a fucking conflict, dude.
Right.
They're fucking murdering people day in and day out. That's a weird
insane,
conflict. Dude. Yeah. Conflict is like, you pulled into the parking space I was going to pull into. I'm like, you know.
Isn't Trump buying it now? Or took over it? Or
I mean,
some shit?
it's probably going to end up that way. There'll be a Trump International in the Gaza Strip at some point.
Wow.
So this declaration kind of paved the way for a future mandate for Palestine under the British administration, and then the creation of the State of Israel in 1948, which we will get to as we go through this deep dive. But many see these declarations, these promises, as the root cause for the Israeli-Palestinian conflict today. It dates back to literally the Britons wanting the Jewish buy-in, wanting the Arab support because they wanted to, you know, win this war at all costs. I mean, think about what they did to win this war. They borrowed all kinds of money from the US or JP Morgan. They made false promises to two different groups of people, promising the same fucking thing, which they couldn't deliver. They ended up winning the war for them, but kind of fucked it up for everybody else, right? In a nutshell, I mean, stand-up guys, you know?
And Morgan, the House of Morgan, didn't matter what to them what was going on. They were still getting paid.
Correct. Yeah, they didn't give a fuck. They don't care about the Middle East conflict. None of the what fucking Britain promised this one, that one. All they cared was about, my money's out. We're getting our fucking money back. Right. So that is episode 4, Adrian. JP Morgan passes the baton to his son. They cash this check. They cash these, this whole, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And then the Middle East conflict, I think, I don't know if it begins, but it definitely heats up after this. So the war to end all wars really didn't end shit. It just kind of
kicked off some more shit.
It kicked off some more shit, dude. Next week, episode 5, we are going to talk about Hitler's origin story, Adrian. Because he was in World War I. He was a messenger. We talked about him. He was a hell of a fucking soldier, dude. He did great at you know what his job was. He was then injured a couple times, tear gas with fucking something. Who knows?
Right.
What the fuck? It wasn't Agent Orange. That was World War II. But they were gassing him with some fucked up shit. Right. So he was blinded for a minute. So he's in this kind of recovery center, and then that's when he finds the news that the Germans, you know, forfeited or whatever. They gave up. They waved the white flag, and then there was a lot of conspiracy and talk out there that they didn't really give up. There was an inside job. It was the Jews, Adrian. They blame it on the Jews. And they forfeited on behalf and yada, 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 which then sends Hitler and on this war path, and a lot of these wild conspiracists kind of follow him. And then we'll find out where that goes, Adrian. Right. So
it's interesting. I was watching this episode of this show about Lincoln. And, you know, we hear about things that people do, but we don't really hear the backstory.
Yeah.
Like John Wilkes Booth, did you know he was an actor? Very famous one. Right? Women loved him, all this other kind of stuff. You know, see, he had this whole thing going on. The guy that supposedly killed Lincoln. Yeah. He was an Air Force guy. And he had a whole lifestyle. So there's a lot. Hitler, you know, they had a whole life, and then something switched.
Yeah.
And it sent them on this different path. Or they were set up to be on this path, you know?
Right.
So we talk a lot about the act that they did that solidified them in history, but we don't talk about the things that happened to them or they were a part of
Sure.
up until that point. So interesting stuff, though.
It is, dude. And I mean, the war, think about this shit. It was promoted as like a competition almost. But when the war ended, it was November 11th, 1918. 20 million dead,
Damn.
21 million wounded. Then generations psychologically fucking destroyed. Because you don't come back from that like, okay.
Right.
You know, that many people, that group. And especially like, I think maybe it's a little different now. Like we've experienced this. Maybe they can, and I don't know, maybe it's a fucked up thing to say, but you can prepare somebody a little bit better for this now versus back then when they're being told like, maybe they thought they were going to the Olympics and shit.
Right.
And now they'd be back by Christmas. Remember that? You leave August, back by Christmas. They were out there for years.
Well, the thing about it is that I don't think that would happen today. I'm not saying that, people don't come back damaged.
Right. But not to this level. There's
it's a different level. But I think the expectation is that because, I mean, if you look at our police, they're militarized police.
Sure.
You can't see a police engagement and think that, this is going to be a walk in the park. So you can only imagine. Then you got all the military movies, the military shows. You will fucking die most likely wherever you go. So I don't think there's any misconception about what's going to happen if there is another war. And again, people are working on things that we don't know about when it comes to warfare.
Sure.
Right. So just like these cats, they hadn't seen what was the war before that. They, muskets on in a cow field.
They're fucking fencing.
Right. And now you got this fucking gas and you got these bombs and machine guns and tanks and all this other kind of shit that's happening. So I think if there is a ground war, another ground kind of war, it's going to be at a level that nobody even would consider.
Yeah.
I mean, they got these bombs now. They're not nuclear, but they are massive.
Yeah.
I mean, they can take out a city block. You drop that shit from space, you won't even see it coming. There's no defense against it. It just all kinds of shit out there now.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy the what this changed though. 400 years prior to this, the Ottoman Empire ruled that entire region. Their borders were soft. Ethnic groups were all mixed. People lived and traded among regional lines. Like it was a lot more connected.
Right.
After World War I, they collapse. Britain and France, they swoop in like vultures. They divide everything up. They're not there to help. They're there to fucking divide this shit up.
Sure.
They already made the secret deal. Britain gets Iraq, Jordan, and Palestine. France gets Syria and Lebanon. And they didn't ask anybody. They just took the shit.
Wow.
They just drew the lines. No knowledge of religion, tribes, history, culture. Just like, hey, you're going to have this. We're going to divide this. So, of course, the people are pissed, right? It's just, dude, it's like imagine two British dudes showing up to Connecticut and just start redrawing fucking lines. Like, no, this is my town. This is yours. Like, it's the fuck you talking about?
Yeah.
Just they couldn't do shit about it. And then we talked about the Balfour Declaration. You got the Jewish refugees saying we were promised this land. The Palestinians are saying we already fucking live here. And Britain's like, fuck it. We'll just figure it out later. Who cares? Like I said, y'all can live there. Just creating a clusterfuck. And then you have the religious aspect because it's Holy Land. The Christians claim it. The Jews claim it. The Muslims already live there. It's a crazy fucking manufactured chaos is what it is. And then obviously the House of Morgan, as we put it, benefits from all of it.
Right.
The government owes him, the industries owe him, and America's future depends on the financial system that he shaped, pretty much. He cracked the code, dude. War, chaos, loans, profit, more war.
Absolutely.
Nice cycle, So
besides the fact that if all of those people had lived, think about what this planet would look like today.
Oh, yeah.
So it's definitely some population control going on at the same time. Dude.
Yep.
That's another thing we should probably dig into, dude. Population control. That shit's crazy.
That's a whole nother fucking tinfoil talk. So the war of all war, or the war to end all wars, actually just ended the Middle East stability. Fucking Germany went insane. And then the idea that religion guides peace, I think it kind of ruined that for everyone too.
That whole
dude.
religion slant is just crazy.
Yeah.
You know, Guy's piece, yet they're historically just wiping out all
Right.
kinds of people.
Crazy. So, well, that is it. Next week, the rise of Hitler, the origin story,
Wow.
Adrian. I know it's crazy here on other stuff, you know. So we're gonna tell you we do our best to fact check, you know.
Sure.
So you shouldn't have to fact check any of this.
Definitely fact check. Yo, definitely fact check all of this
Everything,
shit. It's
everything.
entertainment, but
It
you
is.
know, we don't you know, follow in the footsteps of the people before. Right?
No.
We don't want to mislead you.
No.
So it's entertainment for us. It's fun for us to talk about, kick about, because it doesn't really affect anything.
Correct.
But don't go off on some tangent off some information that you got from us. Definitely
Yeah.
fact check all
Absolutely.
this
Yeah,
shit.
don't be attacking British people and shit. Like, relax, dude. It's like we're talking about back in the day, dude.
Right.
You know, but it is makes for a fun conversation.
It does. It does.
So, anyways,